we have to go before we're confident that nothing else has been affected by this layout change? And most of the time, you'll see actually in DevTools, it gives you the scope and the root of a layout operation. And an awful lot of times, you will see that it's the whole document. So you can create layout boundaries. I didn't include that in this, but I have a library called Boundarizer, which actually puts on boxes around your elements and says these could act as layout boundaries. So if you animate something inside of there, it might only need to go up to that element before it can, say, I don't need to go any further. We're adding it to DevTools. Jump to, so when you click on an element, you should be able to, with the context menu, hopefully be able to say, jump to the layout boundary for this element. The question is Shadow DOM going to help? As far as I know, Shadow DOM won't be acting as a layout boundary.
Right.
So, no.
It also won't help with any sort of paint.
No.
Separate concern.
Yes.
And I think this goes back to the difference between DOM tree and render tree.
Yep.
Where render tree is mostly what we're concerned with here, and DOM tree is a separate concern.
Yes, basically, yeah. Because all that layout, the geometry and stuff was all inside the render tree, as far as we're concerned at this point.
Bruce Lawson had a question around image decoding costs.
Yeah.
WebP versus JPEG?
Is 1.4 times, I believe, at the last count.
That's correct.
So, yeah, that's an interesting one. I know that the WebP team are, very keen to reduce that as far as humanly possible.
There was a really big thread on the Blink Dev mailing list when animated WebP, that thread, and they went through and landed a bunch of optimizations to improve the decode time of animated WebP. And that happened after that 1.4 benchmark came out.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so watch this space. The chances are any decode is going to be completely overshadowed by resize operations that you do.
Yep.
So even if you spend, it's like the difference between 5 or 6 milliseconds on a decode, your corresponding resize for something might be sort of between 20 and 30, which is going to happen at the bitmap level because you've decoded to a bitmap. So at that point, the resize doesn't matter whether it came from a JPEG or a PNG or a GIF or a WebP.
So taking into consideration everything that you talked about as far as the image resize and decode, what is the most appropriate way to handle responsive images and high DPI? Easy.
Cheers, dude.
Just piece of cake question for you.
I'm going to say I honestly at this point don't know because we are paying the resize cost on the client side. But maybe you have